Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome to Live with the Chamber. Welcome to Friday. Once again, we made it through another week. Proud of you all. We did it. My name is Jack Faria. My pronouns are he, him, his. I am the Membership and Events Coordinator for the Wisconsin LGBT Chamber of Commerce. Like I said, welcome to Live with the Chamber. Each Live with the Chamber event allows an LGBT Chamber member to share their story, talk a bit about triumphs, how their business is evolving, especially around COVID-19. Answer questions from you, the audience, if you like. Feel free to leave us a comment. Love to hear from you. Nice to see people pop in. All right. Coming up on the show, we will have a membership anniversary celebration. There's a lot of them. So excited for these folks. Welcome in some new members. I'll share a tip of the day, talk about upcoming events, and then we'll bring in our special guest, Casey Wren from United Way of Greater Milwaukee. It's going to be a lot of fun. Let's get on right into it with our membership anniversaries. Like I mentioned, we got quite a few of them. So here we go. Kim Thiel Photography, 1 year. Milwaukee Community Acupuncture, 2 years in Milwaukee. NAMI Fox Valley, 4 years in Appleton. Genesis Jewelry, 4 years. Classy Girl Cupcakes, 5 years in Milwaukee. Hunger Task Force, 5 years. Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton, 5 years. And Chapel of the Archangels, 7 years in Beaver Dam. Thank you all. Happy anniversary. So glad to have you here. Thanks so much for being members. And speaking of, want to welcome in our new members. We have, there we go. We have SVA and Direct Supply. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right. For your tip of the day, as I mentioned earlier, it's the same. Update your listing in our business directory. It's so important to have the most accurate information as possible. So be sure to check your listing and let me know what questions you have. All right. And without any further ado, I will bring in our special guest. We have Casey Wren from United Way of Greater Milwaukee and Waukesha County. How you doing, Casey?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm doing all right. I feel very energized for Friday. But great to see you. Let's get right on into it. Tell us a little bit about your background.
Sure. So I have been with United Way for 2 years, maybe more like 2.5. And I have held a couple different hats over the years here, but I am currently in charge of our young professional programs. So that is donor engagement with young professionals from our different companies. We have roughly 1,500 United Way campaigns happen every year. So I have representation from those folks and those companies, many of who are partners with LGBT chambers. So this partnership we've developed, it's really only about a year or two old, and it's been really beneficial for us. So kudos to you and Jason and everyone at the chamber for the partnerships. We love to host your events. We love to be a part of these events. And we're just happy to be here. My other corporate side, before doing nonprofit, I was a corporate meeting and event planner with American Express Business Travel. And I service clients like Miller Coors, Johnson Controls, Accenture, Mars, just a number of really, really great companies to work with. But happy to put my passion into advocating for the greater Milwaukee community and everything this region can be capable of being.
Absolutely. I love your shirt, by the way.
Thank you. Fantastic. Yes. Maybe we can sell some on a webpage sometime. So yes,
absolutely.
This is our Pride Live United shirt, and it says on the back about fighting for the health and equity of everyone in our community, et cetera, et cetera. But yes, I always get great feedback on it.
Well, thank you. And thank you for the kind words. So appreciate that. That is awesome to hear at the end of the week. Appreciate you too. Thank you, Casey. But if I were someone who had no idea about the work that United Way does, what would you say that you do, particularly here in the greater Milwaukee, Waukesha County area?
Yes, so we are the largest health and human services funder outside of the government in the region. So we partner with hundreds of nonprofits to do great work. We fund programs at these different nonprofits that deal with education, income, and health. So really financial stability. Gotcha. When we're talking about income. We do everything from prenatal care to end-of-life care. So we really cover the spectrum of the health of the greater Milwaukee community. We raise roughly $56 million a year that gets just distributed through our community fund and designated dollars to different nonprofits. So that is a big undertaking.
Yeah.
We're really getting ready for that. We're launching September 3rd. I'll be working with the chamber to promote our launch of that campaign in these virtual times. But the other thing I want to mention that United Way is doing and always has done is we have different issue areas. And I'm going to talk about one of them later, but we lift these issue areas up because they are issue areas that affect everyone in our community. And our greatest success is leading the teen pregnancy prevention efforts. Our Women United program got together and said, teen pregnancy is a crisis in our area. And that affects our tax dollars, that affects health outcomes, that affects education. When a family is ready to have a child and bring it into this world, they're going to be much more prepared to give that child a great life and a great education. So we were the second, I believe the second worst city in the nation for teen pregnancy rates. And now we don't even fall on the radar of a city with that issue. So we're able to harness the power of the for-profit community, the nonprofit community, government, and religion to tackle these community crisis issues head on and drive measurable impact that is going to have long-lasting change for our community.
That is incredible work.
Yes.
But just hearing you talk about all this, I love your passion. I love hearing all the great work that United Way does and has done. That is incredible. And recently, there's been this added element of the COVID-19 pandemic.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit, the last 5 months. How has United Way been able to support the community during the pandemic? Because your work has obviously changed quite a bit.
Yeah, we generally fundraise in the workplace, and the workplace is now virtual for the most part. So I'll talk a little bit about that in a minute, but what we have been able to do and what makes United Way so strong is that we're able to pivot quickly to community needs. So right away, we were on the forefront of raising dollars. And in a relatively short amount of time, outside of our typical campaign season, we raised over $2 million for our nonprofit partners to get essential items immediately in their hands. Because yes, a lot of things shut down, but daycare centers, senior care homes, shelters for victims of domestic abuse, these places were not able to shut down, and they didn't have the access or the dollars to be able to purchase some of these essential items. So just a couple stats, we distributed over 450 gallons of hand sanitizer, 52,000 masks and gloves, 72,000 diapers to kids who needed them, 43,000 pantry food supply items. I mean, there is a whole slide we could share at some point or on a follow-up, but we were there, and we were also there because we know our corporate partners who actually produce this. So one of our, it was a distillery, I'm blanking on it at the moment, but we had a distillery turn their operations into making hand sanitizer. We partnered with the Marcus Corporation to take all their extra food they had at their hotels because weddings, events, meetings aren't happening. And we got fresh produce into the community where, they weren't able to have access to that. We know food shortages are happening in our city, and we can bridge that gap with our corporate partners to help out those who have the greatest need.
Once again, I feel like, what have I done? What have I done? That's incredible.
Yes.
Awesome.
So as I mentioned, we're preparing to pivot into our campaign season, launching on September 3rd. And we have had to just completely look inward and figure out how to do everything in a virtual setting. Earlier this week, we just had a big event called the Philanthropic 5 Awards. It honors great young professionals in our community. We did that completely virtual. And, if you want to look at it, yes, we were able to gather in person, but we were able to share this message farther and wider than we ever have. We had more registered attendees and more viewers than any other year we've done this event. So not being able to hug people, we get it, but we're able to share these messages throughout the country of what's happening in the Milwaukee community. And we're getting ready to prepare our partners for the campaign. We've got virtual fundraising ideas, virtual volunteer programs. You can pen pal a senior to help them feel a little more comforted. You can go to seniors' homes and do yard work. We've got a myriad of ideas, and we're still confident that the Milwaukee area will step up and be supportive, but we're just getting more creative in these virtual times.
That's awesome. That's awesome. We do have a question from Joseph here. Are there ways for nonprofits in need to reach out to United Way?
We do have emergency dollars that nonprofits can request. And if you visit our website, we have an entire page regarding COVID-19 and how to get involved with us and seek support. And I'll put her on the spot, but our dear friend, our Vice President of Community Impact, Nicole Ingrasano, is taking calls all the time from nonprofits that have unique and certain needs, because she knows where to connect the dots and how to get those nonprofits in need, even if they're not a part of the United Way family. You know, we have so many partners, and we also have non-agency partners that we help out.
Awesome. Thank you for the question, Joseph. I just put in the link to United Way's COVID response into our comment section. So that's a great link for you to go to talk about that. Oh, we did speak earlier before we were on air about a new program that's being launched for young professionals that's around race and equity education. What can you share about that work?
Yes, so United Way has always been committed to equity, inclusion. I mean, we have an entire program around boys and men of color. We have an entire program around reducing barriers to employment and reducing African American unemployment rates by 15% by the year 2025. So if you visit our website, we just launched that initiative in terms of allocating the dollars out to the community. So again, these are those efforts I talk about that United Way can really wrap their arms around the community and make these changes happen. We have an expungement program if you have a record and there are issues to employment. We have transportation support that all these nonprofits are working on to drive the measurable change in the community. But just this week, we announced an anti-racism curriculum award. So what we're doing is we're partnering with schools to give teachers the tools to be able to teach anti-racism, equity, and inclusion work in the classroom, with a focus on our suburban schools that may not be as diverse as our city schools. It is very, very new, but our goal is $5,000. And with a match from BMO Harris Bank, we've already raised nearly $2,000 to this effort. So the other perk that I want to plug is if you donate, United Way will give you some curriculum you can do at home with your kids or with your friends on how to be a better advocate and ally and be a part of this movement to truly drive inclusion and anti-racism and equity and change. And, you know, I'm going to plug the shirt, Live United.
Awesome. And again, I just put that link for folks to learn more about United Way's anti-racism work just in the comments here. If you want to get involved, and you should get involved, I'll say.
Yeah, and a lot of that work is driven through our Diversity Leadership Society. So my two programs that I manage are called LINK, stands for Lead, Impact, Network, Change. That's a network of about 300 young professionals in their 20s and early 30s. And then this anti-racism curriculum award program is done through our emerging leaders. So emerging leaders are folks in their 20s and 30s and early 40s. And they are focused on education. So that is a network of roughly 1,300 people, and they're governed by these company representatives. But if anyone wants to get involved in United Way, we have Retire United for our retirees to continue to be engaged. We have Women United, we have the Diversity Leadership Society, and we have the Tocqueville program, which is for some of our very high-level donors. And that's a perk of donating to United Way. If you donate at a certain level, you can be a part of these programs and network and drive change and be a part of what we're all working towards, which is a better community.
That's right. Wow. There's so much. Oh my gosh, that's incredible. I want to get to know you a little bit more though, Casey. You shared with me some pretty incredible recent news. I'll be vague and let you share some changes in your life recently.
Yeah, so, you know, we've all heard about COVID weddings being canceled, postponed, rescheduled, up in the air. My husband and I, we were a part of that. Planned on getting married in Scottsdale over Memorial Day weekend. Had been, you know, saving up for that. It didn't happen. So instead of that, we bought a house. And
Okay.
yeah, so there is our wedding photo from our backyard. And there's our cat named Picasso, who even donned a bow tie. And then here's our house we just bought. And if you see those lions with the masks on,
Go back to it.
yes, they came with the house, and they are quickly being recognized by people in the community. Our realtor came and dressed them up in red, white, and blue for the 4th of July. So we were like, how are we going to make these fun and engaging statues? So we put masks on them. People stop and get their picture taken with them. People have said they've seen it on Reddit, and it's just really fun. So we're debating what we're going to do next with the lions. But yes, we got married on August 1st, so it's very, very new.
Congrats.
A COVID wedding was very interesting. Again, social distance, kept it small. But, you know, we're lucky to still have the right to be able to marry, and we chose to do so.
That's right. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with me. I end the show as I always do. I want to ask, what has been entertaining you these past months?
I mean, everyone's binge watching, but really the house and getting it up to snuff and ready. You know, we had been in a 2-bedroom condo before this, and it was it was a different, but now having a home and a yard and something to really start building our life together has been really special. So that's kept us busy these past couple months.
Beautiful answer. I think it's a perfect way to end off. Casey, thank you so much again for joining us for Live with the Chamber. Anything else you want to say as we close out?
Sorry for being fashionably late, but of course, I'm happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Casey. Speak soon. Thank you. All right, everyone. That was Live with the Chamber. I hope you enjoyed this conversation. Feel free, share it, like it, tell your friends. We'd love to get more folks involved with Live with the Chamber. And your business can be on Live with the Chamber next. There is a link in our comments section to find out more about that. All right, everyone. Have a safe and healthy weekend. See you next. See you Monday.